It's time for Video Game Replays!
Hello and welcome back to this episode of Video Game Replay, Movie Night Edition. With me is my co-host Aiden.
What's up, guys? Aiden in the building. We got CJ up here. What are you doing, C? How you doing? How you been?
Hey, C Bands is back. I'm here. What's happening, everybody?
Finally, the CJ is back. How the hell you guys been? It's been a minute. I think it's been a week, at least for me and Aiden. CJ, we thought we had lost you to the wildness and the wonder of the world. Where you been hiding, man? How you been? What you been doing?
Pretty good. I've been hiding in the gym, been hiding at the bar. Not just as a customer, I'm also a part-time bartender now. Come holler at your boy, best bartender in the world.
Do you get work discounts, like 10% off?
I might. I'm not supposed to disclose my benefits package with other outsiders and such, but yeah, I get good perks, pretty good tips lately, not too bad. I think it's fun. It's not really so jobby to me as just kind of bullshitting, but I'm in a bar. It's kind of nice that I'm in a bar and not shit-faced, you know, because then I normally don't know how to control myself. So, been in the gym, been drinking a little less than normal. Did have a birthday. I'm the big 2-4, so I'm old as hell now. So I'm pretty mature.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. I mean, I just woke up and felt mature the other day, honestly. So, overall, pretty good. Been doing less gaming, but I have been playing some Nintendo Switch Sports as of late. Pretty good bowler, I'll say that. Long story short, won't bore the audience. Friend of mine kept coming over, female friend, didn't know that we liked each other. Kept kicking her ass in Nintendo Switch Sports, and apparently that's how you get ladies in the big 2-6. So, fellas, take notes. I'm off the market for the female listeners because I have a bowling partner. So, Aiden, can you top that?
The guys can still do it. The guys can still get in on it. Just letting you all know. Don't give up, guys.
There's a way.
Don't know if I can top that. I've pretty much been doing the complete opposite. Not been going out, not been working, not been getting ladies. I've been at the house doing nothing as my unemployment persists. I've been actually gaming a lot more, so I've pretty much done the complete opposite of CJ. Haven't touched a drink. Playing a lot of games as of recently. As of recent, he's making an offended face for the listeners out there. But I've been playing a ton of games. I've been playing little Apex Legends, which is a battle royale by Respawn. It's a kind of older one, but jumping back into that. Playing Slay the Spire. I mentioned in the last episode. I've been playing that a lot. It's a new game. A predecessor. Is a predecessor come after or before? But you know what? It's
Before.
Okay, what would it be? Post? I don't know. It's the one after Slay the Spire, the original.
Sequel? Maybe that?
Sequel? The sequel?
Sequel game?
Yeah, that'll
be,
work.
yeah.
It's a sequel game for Slay the Spire 1, putting a shit ton of time into it. I've now done a successful run on almost all the characters except for one of them. Probably putting way too much time into that game. Playing still a little bit of Rocket League. I've been gaming a lot. I've been doing a mixture of cooking, gaming, little working out, a lot of gaming, a lot of sleeping. Pretty much doing nothing productive. But yeah, that's pretty much been my life. Larry, you been doing anything more than me? I guess probably so.
Well, I mean, when you set the bar that fucking high, dude, it's kind of hard really to argue with that. Been working. I tried really hard to get into my garage last weekend and work. The weather was nice for like 12 hours. And the only thing I accomplished was actually just getting it cleaned and swept out, which is a progress. But then it's been cold as balls ever since. So I've had that problem, but
Yeah, this weather's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure anywhere any place that you are in America right now, you're dealing with something that's pretty fucked up weather-wise.
Amen.
I, I know you guys aren't news watchers, but pretty short of it. I guess if you live on the west side of the country, you're on fire. If you live in the middle of it, you're probably been through a bunch of storms, possibly a tornado. If you live on the East Coast, there's this thing called snow that's still not gone the fuck away yet.
Yep.
So
Pretty much.
I know. My sister went to work early and it was 70 degrees and raining, and by the evening it was a blizzard and it snowed 6 inches. So
yeah, no, I golfed about 26 hours before there was 5 inches of snow in my car. So I don't know. I really don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a weird one. I remember it snowed a good bit that evening, and I looked outside because, see what I have to deal with in the morning. I'm like, oh, fuck, that ain't bad. It melted off the ground and all that shit. It'd be fine. Got up the next day, and it's like, son of a bitch, I got a half hour worth of clean off my car to fucking do now.
Yeah, no, 100%. I didn't make it to the gym Monday over the snow on the roads. And like I said, I was golfing in good weather. Not like, oh, I can force it, wear long sleeves now. I was in short sleeves and shorts. So, cool.
It was nice out Sunday.
Yeah.
Go figure. I go from sweating my balls off because it's hot to sweating my balls off because I'm wearing thermals. It's like, what the fuck?
Amen.
Game wise, I still, for some reason, I've gotten really, I wouldn't say hardcore into backpack battles, but I've been playing about 3 to 4 rounds of that every night before I get to bed. Playing that out. I did beat Secret of the Silver Blades. That is the most thrilling end to any fucking game I've ever seen in my life. The short of it, you beat the final boss. I think his name was Death Adder or some shit. I can't remember now. It's irrelative. But you get done beating him, you teleport back to the main city, and when you go there, you can't do anything. Everybody's celebrating you in the street. So you want to go to the temple and upgrade your people, you can't do it. You want to go buy shit, can't do it. Want to go sell all your shit, can't do it. So basically, it's just like, kind of. I mean, the only reason you want to do any of this shit really is because to get you up to speed, CJ. It's a part 3 of a 4-part series of games, and you can transfer your party of people to the next part.
That's badass as fuck, actually.
Yeah, it's part of what drives me to get through these fucking things. But I just couldn't do anything more than what was there. So I actually had to go to a previous save before I beat the guy, and then try to transfer everything the way I wanted to be loaded on the people so I could end up going. But I also realized, there's 50,000 fucking experience points I'm not going to carry over with me, but whatever.
It's like, I was going to say, that's like playing the last hole of a mini golf. It's like, you can play that last hole, but your ball's going to be going away after that. You can't be doing much more.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great synopsis on how that goes. I mean, that's truly how it felt. It's like, son of a bitch, whatever. Making that hole one's fine, but I hope you recorded it because otherwise it's not going to go for anything. So, outside of that, I guess I haven't really been playing too much game. Ooh, yes, I have. I have to admit, I did find a new mobile game. It's new, but it's not new. But also, I'm a wrestling junkie. But it's called Eras of Wrestling, and the original one was 80s wrestling superstars, and then there was the 90s, and now they've basically just put it to where it spreads all the eras from that point. And it's like a booking simulator where basically you don't actually wrestle, but you book the matches and try to get like a star rating for your show and all that. It's very simple, but strangely it's very fun, and they've turned it into the prototypical collect thousands of shards so you can get the people that you want. Oh, you don't have enough time or effort to do this? Props, though. It does give you a chance to win stuff, so you can do that stuff.
Okay. Yeah, props to them. They're not
with weekly rewards and all that shit. But yeah, you're gonna put in a lot of time to get to that. So just drop $20. It'll be fine.
Words of wisdom.
So I did find that to play with, but I started that. That was after I started Pools of Darkness, which was part 4 of the RPG series I previously mentioned. And other than that, not much else. I mean, I guess that's about the extent of what my gaming's been. Has anyone else got any other game, fun, news things they want to throw out on that?
Really?
I gave Phasmophobia a shot on surround sound, an honest shot after I fixed my surround sound. I'm still bad at it, and it was hard to hear my teammate. So it's good on paper. I feel like if somebody's watching you, it's pretty cool. But other than that, I almost shit my pants once and didn't really get much farther than that. So it's about all the gaming news I have other than being a pro bowler. So.
Well, there you go. Let's see here. Damn. I'm trying to think. Did you guys see the new Spider-Man trailer?
Yes,
I did. That looks actually pretty solid.
I'm into it.
I haven't been really excited for any Marvel products or movies in a while. This one actually got me a little hyped up. Can't lie.
I like Spider-Man as well. So
I wasn't too much, and I think because they brought out the last one with Mysterio, or is that Mysterio? Is that it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Like I said, I know it's the last one that they came out with, but I think it came out right after Endgame and all that stuff that it was so close, and I've been so overwhelmed by it. It's like I missed it for a while. I think I came out on Disney Plus, or hell, I think it even came on TV before I watched it the first time. But I have been starving for some good Marvel entertainment. I did watch the Fantastic Four last year, which wasn't too bad. Wasn't great,
I still haven't
but
watched that.
it's okay. I mean, it's a good contained story. It's one of those ones that stands on its own.
I just have no motivation for any Marvel films coming out as of recent. I don't know why. I don't know if it's literally just growing up, or it's gotten worse, or I've been watching a bunch of classics though. I forgot to mention that I watched Godfather 1 and 2.
Okay.
I watched Tombstone. I watched
No shit. I got
Shawshank
made fun of for
Redemption.
never seen Tombstone before, actually.
It's a good movie. It's a solid movie, but I'm not one to talk because I'm just now watching a bunch of classics because I realized I never really watched a whole lot of movies ever. Yeah, lot of good movies I've been watching. And actually, we got another good movie that we're going to talk about on this episode as well, coming up.
Bang.
Is it?
Solid.
It in itself is a classic, but we're gonna throw out one more thing here, and we'll jump into that. Got all three of us together. We haven't done one in a while, so I figure let's do a question of the week. I would put in a soundbite here, but I don't have one.
Bang, bang, bang.
So this one, I think, is a little deep, but a little simple. So we'll throw it out to the group here. We'll throw it out to anyone who wants to answer it. What harsh truths do you choose to ignore? I mean, it could be simple, could be deep. I don't care. Give me an answer. What do you think, CJ? Go.
I got you, man. I'm lazy as shit and bad with money, and I ignore both of them. I think you guys can attest to both of those probably. Yeah, I'm big time procrastinator about important shit. I possibly am moving in the next 2 weeks, and my house isn't packed, not even at all. So, that's part of it. You all know my car situation that I put myself in. So I think that's pretty big. I've really noticed it lately with, like I said, I've been in the gym a ton, and I'm still being lazy about, eventually, here soon I'll start definitely hitting my protein goal every day. And I think in the past month I've hit it like 4 times. So, I could be better on following through on some stuff. I think that's probably some harsh mirror talk right there. Overall,
It's because you're not in your protein goal. Sorry to interrupt your answer. You're not in your protein goal because he won't listen to me. He wants to get it through the natural means. I'm like, drink a couple protein shakes. Because he had a friend that told him it's better to get it the natural way. But you got to get a couple protein shakes in there, dog.
Yeah, well, I'm getting over the
drink a
protein
double
shakes.
shake.
But I will tell you, I've been eating like 4 barbecue pork sandwiches like every day this week. And I've been doing better on hitting my goals. Manwich is big on it. Manwich has been helping me a little bit too. So, between that, trying some protein bars, I don't like protein food, I've realized. Eggs fucking suck. I choked down some yogurt, and I just don't like yogurt very much.
Objection.
Pause.
Objection.
Pause.
Hold up.
I wish I liked eggs, and I don't like fish very much either. And that's big
Well,
on
no,
protein.
hold on. Don't keep moving on,
you
motherfucker.
gotta-
Go back to these eggs thing.
I eat about
You
4
don't like
eggs a
eggs?
year, and
What?
it's either 1 omelet or they're 4 fried eggs. I just don't really
There's
like
some
eggs.
days I eat 4 eggs a day. Some days I
wish,
eat 4
dude.
eggs for a meal.
I just think they're not that good. Also, hot take, they're not really that high on protein. Shut the fuck up and eat steak or something else. Like, eat a protein bar.
But they're one of like the purest forms of protein that you can get.
That is probably
And it's
very
easily-
true. But I also like the snack selects from Aldi that are 10 to 12 grams of protein. That's just some
Yeah,
cheese.
but what do you think's better for you, manwich or an egg?
I mean,
4 sandwiches a day or an egg?
Probably, it's 4 pork barbecue sandwiches and 2 sandwiches.
You don't like a deviled egg?
Dude, I wish I did. I just really don't.
You like a fried egg? Do you like any scrambled? I'm guessing you like some scrambled.
Nah, not really. Omelet, it just has to have a fuck ton of cheese and peppers. And fried egg is okay with some toast, but like I said, once I get like 2 of them in me, I'm just like, I don't want to eat anything else. So,
How about hard boiled?
Hard boiled with a little salt on it, dude. I could just pop a hard boiled every time I walk by the kitchen. I could pop a hard boiled. If I had somebody making me 5 hard boileds a day, I'd be fine with that. And I'd pop all the hard boileds.
Yeah, I wish. Like, I think they're fucking gross as shit. I think yogurt's really disgusting. I like really try. I don't know if it's texture or if it's just so tangy.
Okay, pause.
Like
hold on. Yogurt. You don't like yogurt? What about froyo? You like froyo, you right?
I mean, Froyo's cool. Yeah.
That's pretty much ice cream.
I'm gonna throw out my personal favorite. I was never a yogurt guy. I just couldn't do it. I'm with you. I don't know if it's a taste or a fucking texture thing. Have you had the Great Value Greek vanilla yogurt? Have you ever had that?
Not to my knowledge, but I'll write it down right now.
It's a little maybe a little more on the carbs, but it ain't gonna hurt you. It ain't gonna fucking you're burning the carb anyways. But
like
it's fucking delicious. And you go over into the fucking cereal aisle and you get the protein peanut butter or oats and honey granola and throw that shit on top of it.
That's not bad. I will say I tried the Ghost protein cereal and I really don't like peanut butter that much. It's pretty fucking good. Like it's genuinely, it's too expensive, I think, because it's like $7 a box for a regular size box. But it is pretty fucking good. I will say, like, I enjoyed eating it every time.
Also, write this down. Yogurt. They're Greek yogurt Yasso ice cream bars. Okay. And they're like 100 calories. There's this big bar. It's 100 calorie each with 5. It doesn't have a ton. It's not really. It's like they label it protein, but it only has like 5 grams of protein. But it's only 100 calories. Okay. They're literally heavenly. Like it's stupid. Like
I'll tell you what. I only care because I've been tracking my protein, but the app I use, it tracks everything that's in it or whatever. I did find out my sodium intake is extremely high. I'm talking like every day. I'm like, it's negative anytime you go over. I'm like negative 7,000 milligrams of sodium almost every day. I realized
4
I eat
sandwiches.
a lot of processed
You were saying,
food. Yeah, because I don't like to cook.
Gotta learn to cook, brother. Gotta learn to cook, man.
I'm just lazy.
I know. He said he went to Aldi's. I'm like, oh, what type of? You get any meats? Because you go to Aldi's, they got good deals on meats. No, bro. He just got a bunch of microwave meals. I'm like, bro, get a chicken,
so nice.
pack of chicken, get some ground beef.
Especially during basketball season, I was going from one gym to the next gym to getting home at 10 o'clock and just needing to eat real quick. I don't want to cook. I want to wash my ass and throw something in the microwave. Come pull it out and eat it.
At this point, you might as well just eat fucking beef jerky for a fucking regular living, dude.
I eat that pretty often at work as a snack. They got the vending machine, and I hit that shit up for the beef jerky. I'm gonna be honest, but I did switch to zero sugar Monster. That's what I'm proud of. So,
okay, that's
also
small
you were
steps,
talking
small
about
goals, man.
2 McDoubles a day from McDonald's. That has to be crazy sodium.
2 McDoubles and a large Coke Zero, $4.63 from McDonald's through the app. 43 grams of protein for $4.63. You can't beat it. It's like $1 per.
I'm just saying that. That's sodium.
Oh yeah.
I sweat it out.
Oh yeah.
I'm a hard worker.
I don't know. Sodium. People go crazy about sodium. I don't think sodium matters, bro. You can.
I sweat like a motherfucker. So I think I'm
take as much sodium as you want. Yeah.
When you go from calling it sodium to calling it electrolytes, then it's a whole fucking different thing, you know?
True.
Bang.
That's Uncle Larry Wisdom right there.
Cooking,
They're literally people selling electrolyte drinks, and it's just like salty flavor pouches that you put in water.
It's 8,000 milligrams of sodium, yeah.
Yeah,
electrolytes. It's what the body craves. Have you ever seen that? Idiocracy?
I heard of it, but no.
No, but I've heard the word.
Oh, you motherfuckers. Nomination for the next movie night. Idiocracy. Mike Judge movie. Fucking made 25 years ago. Makes more sense today than it ever fucking did.
I'd be down to watch it.
Is it a comedy? It sounds like a comedy.
Yeah, oh yeah. It is. Back to point though. Aiden, what's one harsh truth that you've chose to ignore?
Aiden, you interrupted me. I'm going to interrupt you. I am listening and I do care, but I'm genuinely about to piss down my leg. But I am listening and I'm here and I care. All right, Aiden, harsh truth.
Harsh truths. Way too hardworking. Way too loyal. I was talking like I'm for a job interview.
Sell it, motherfucker. Sell it.
Honestly, probably my work ethic and overall commitment to doing productive things is probably my harshest truth. I have so many things that I need to do that I just don't do it. I'm a big procrastinator. I'm one of those people that I'm smart enough to know exactly what I have to do to achieve what I want, and I will just not do it. I could easily figure stuff out. I know I could learn something. I could learn this thing. I know where I have to go to learn it. I know what I have to do to learn it, but I just don't. And I don't know if it's just something in my brain. I don't know if I'd rather play a little slop roguelike games while watching a podcast in the background for 6 hours straight. I don't know if that is just more enticing than doing something productive, but that is
When it's VGR, it is.
yeah, when it's VGR, because that's informative as well. You could probably write that down on your resume. Watched all VGR episodes.
I mean, I'd hire you on the spot.
Same.
I don't know. I mean, that's a good point of reflection there. I feel you on that. I think you both have spit out the same thing, and I'm going to say what mine is before we get to the harsh truth of the matter here. I'm with you guys both. I see the path. I know what the path is supposed to be. I just neglect it, and that's going to be obviously in my personal health, my personal body weight, the shit I need to achieve. Me and my wife got into a tiff over the last weekend. I told you guys I wanted to clean my garage. I wanted to go out there and build some shit. She's like, "You got some trimming you need to put down, motherfucker. It's been there for how long ago did we lay that floor, CJ?"
Holy fuck. It was like just starting to get cold, and so I mean it's been, I'd go as far to say it was around Halloween, if not before.
That's fair. That's fair. 'Cause we had to do it before I could help you coach basketball.
Yep.
So whenever that came out, that was
so
at least by Thanksgiving.
It was right before Thanksgiving, because it was literally the weekend before we this would have been.
Yeah. So that puts us, just in case you're catching this in the near future, it's about 4 months now, 5 months maybe at the most.
Not taking sides here, Larry. I'm just gonna be quiet, but
For those who can't see here, I got the stare, the same one I got the last weekend, but she ain't wrong, and I can make all the excuses in the world that hasn't been done. I'm sorry, honey, it needs to be done. It will be done. I'm probably going to have to take a day off from work, though, so that way I can do it by myself with the help of maybe dragging Aiden over to make him move some furniture for me. Appliances, probably. Because I think the worst one will be the wall behind the stove.
oh, yeah.
That's going to be the hardest one to get knocked out. But other than that, the rest of it's just time. And I don't want to take my damn air compressor outside when it's fucking wet.
I've been trying to get people to use my body, but they won't. I've been saying, hey, I'm off work. I can help you do whatever. But I told my grandparents, like, hey, if you're up at that rental house, need help moving stuff, I'm your guy. Call me whenever. I'll come out multiple times a week. They did call me one time to come help, but other than that, I haven't been called upon.
Well, I think if nothing else, I like to say, as we close up this moment of reflection here on the BGR Mental Health Awareness podcast, we all lack the one thing that my dad gave me shit for, and that's self-discipline. That's basically telling yourself no, or telling yourself get up and fucking do it.
Amen.
I don't know what the answer is. I don't know how to fix that, but if you do, please let us know at vgrpod@gmail.com. We'd love to hear what it is to motivate yourself besides cocaine to get off your ass and do something.
Yes, sir. And speaking of self-discipline, one thing that could help you, your first step, watch a specific movie here that has a lot to do with that.
This episode of Video Game Replay is brought to you by Phantom Shield VPN, the only VPN that takes your privacy as seriously as you do. Let's be honest, the internet's basically a dark alley with horny cats and Wi-Fi. Every click, every search, every late night deep dive in Rule 34, Sophia Petrillo, someone's watching. Your internet provider, your applications, maybe your cat. Definitely your cat. I think she's embarrassed too. But not if you're using Phantom Shield VPN. Phantom Shield VPN encrypts your data using military-grade technology, which basically means that it will work some of the time. Maybe. With Phantom Shield VPN, you can browse privately, stream anything from anywhere, and pretend to be from a country you've never even heard of, all while knowing your information isn't being sold to the highest bidder. Because let's face it, you're worth more than 12 cents of ad revenue. And right now, listeners of Video Game Replay get 85% off, plus your first 3 months free. That's almost a full season of lying low on the grid while you Google things like John Stamos shirtless. Go to phantomshieldvpn.com/VGRpod and use our code SHOCKER at checkout. That's phantomshieldvpn.com/VGRpod, code SHOCKER, because being invisible online shouldn't require a tinfoil hat. Stay private, stay safe, stay off those websites you shouldn't be on, all with Phantom Shield VPN.
At the time of this recording, Phantom Shield VPN is not a real product, nor is it a website. The offer included in the previous message is real, as 30% of zero is still zero, and since it doesn't cost anything, 3 months of free is a valid offer. This is a parody. It is not a paid promotion of Phantom Shield VPN, which is not a real product or website.
Well, I'm glad that you guys seem to come out this. You seem excited. I'm happy to hear this. So let me go through my spew. Take us a minute here. We'll rush into this, and then we're going to talk about the 36 Chambers of Shaolin. Wooga, 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 wooga. Hiya! So, 36 Chamber of Shaolin received critical acclaim and is widely considered to be one of the greatest kung fu films ever made and highly influential in the entry in this genre. The movie helped break the industry out of a rut left behind by the death of Bruce Lee in 1973, where almost every movie up to this point was pretty much considered a bluesploitation movie, where basically it's a cheap version of Bruce Lee with Bruce Lee, Bruce Liu, Bruce Lowe, Bruce Lee, Bruce Lei, all these different ones, and basically they were just playing Bruce Lee over and over and over again. But the 36th Chamber of Shaolin was set in the 17th century under the Qin Dynasty. It is a 1978 Shaw Brothers classic. Our lead character, Louis Yidi. I don't know. They only say it for like 3 times, and then they change his name later. But either way, it comes involved with the local rebellion led and influenced by his teacher. Government officials headed by the brutal General Tien Ta, General Cheng, and Lord Tang quickly discovered the uprising and captured the rebels and kill everyone, leaving only Louis Yidi, especially barely alive, and then he escapes. Yeah, I think they get to the point to call him Yidi, and then when he gets over it, they end up changing his name. But eventually, Yidi finds his way to the Shaolin Temple, and he seeks sanctuary. Initially, the monks there refuse to keep the refugee. However, the Chief Abbot has mercy on Yudi, and he, after a year of providing him worth of working and paying off his debts there at the temple, Yudi is finally allowed to train in the 35 Chambers of Shaolin, and at that point, his name is changed to Santi. With his father and all of his friends being killed, Santi swears revenge on those who were responsible for the death of his loved ones and goes to train in the ways of Shaolin. Now, real quick, I do want to bring up the idea of the Shaw brothers. They were 3 brothers, Runji, Runmi, Runde, and basically they were the equivalent of the Hong Kong Warner Brothers studios. They were active from 1958 to 2011, where it was at one time the largest production company in the world, and where it absorbed through its reabsorbed through its reorganization, but still produced movies under the Shaw Brothers title up until 2022. A couple famous movies that they did, which I highly recommend some of these. Famous movies were The Love Eternal, Come Drink With Me, The One-Armed Swordsman, which is very famous, King Boxer, Executioners from Shaolin, which is another good movie. The one we're talking about today, The 36 Chambers of Shaolin, and one of my personal favorites, The 5 Deadly Venoms, which came out in 1978. It's a lot of words, a lot of things happening, but you guys seem excited. Who wants to start? Go.
This movie, very solid. Very solid. Coming into it, I expected a kung fu movie. I expected it to be a bit cheesy, but it was actually a very solid movie. Set design was very good. Sound was fine. I don't know about you guys, but I watched it with subtitles in the original language because I started to do dub and it was just too bad for me. But yeah, very solid movie. I thought pacing was fine. We'll get deeper into it. We'll get deeper into it. A little negative, which a lot of the movies back in the day, or a little older, had this problem. Actually, they had this problem in the Seventh Seal a little bit, but way worse in the Seventh Seal. But some of the character, I guess it would be the dress department. Man, there's some bad wigs. I don't know if you guys saw some. There's some bad wigs that kind of threw me off. I was like, okay, that is a horrible wig. But if you saw our 36 chambers, or not 30, if you saw our 7 Seal reaction, the character the dress design was horrible in that movie. But it got a lot better over time. That's one of the things that really did greatly improve. But yeah, movie was very solid. Expected it to be cheesy, but first impressions is solid. CJ, what do you got?
Kind of similar stuff. It definitely. I'm not a huge movie fan in general, especially going back and watching old movies. Not really my favorite sometimes. So definitely cheesy. Dub didn't kill me. I'm gonna be honest. I'm a dubber. I don't care. I will deal with it just based on the fact I can understand it better. I don't like reading. I like subtitles, just not when I can't understand it. So for me, like I said, dub didn't kill me. Overall, it was pretty good though. I mean, it was enjoyable for what it was. Like I said, old movies aren't my favorite. So I didn't like love it, but for what it was, I mean, I thought it was pretty solid. I thought there was some pretty good moments in it and stuff. Like you kind of said, we'll get into it later. I don't want to spoil too much, but I did write down a couple favorite scenes. I did have a couple it's a good feel movie though. Kind of typical adversity, challenge, hero kind of stuff, but it doesn't necessarily make it bad by any means. So, I mean, overall, pretty good. Like I said, my big struggle is always just with old movies. I just struggle with it's not a new movie. Sounds dumb as hell, and that probably tells you why I'm not the biggest movie guy. But that's just me. So
I feel like I'm almost the opposite. I wasn't a big movie guy, but I'm starting to become a big movie guy, and I almost like older movies better. I've really all I've been watching is older movies, like The Godfathers, Tombstone. I watched Shawshank Redemption. Like I've only been watching older movies.
Well, you're watching golden era of acting kind of stuff there, I think is what you're hitting when you're watching these older ones. But this one here, like I say, being an Asian guy, sporting my Bruce Lee shirt today that a certain nephew had gotten me.
Big up.
I'd watched all the Bruce Lee movies early as a young child. That was just kind of like almost a rite of passage in my house. You had to watch those as well as like Star Wars and things like that. I didn't get to discover this until I was probably in my 20s. Which at that time, and I'm pretty sure some of you've probably gathered, I'd already heard of Wu-Tang. And so this kind of started to place where all their shit came from. Their first album being Enter the 36 Chamber, Wu-Tang. All these things started to make sense, which then gave me an extra layer of, I want to know more. I want to see more. Now this here was starring Gordon Liu, which is a very famous kung fu actor, martial artist, if you will, even. And this, on some degree, to me, is almost like a Rocky type movie. A guy is coming up from the streets, trying just to be a guy. Now, he's not a bouncer like Rocky is, but he's a guy who found something to believe in, and then found he wasn't strong enough to do it, so he found someone to teach him how to do it. And then basically the center part of the movie is what a fucking hour-long montage of him getting trained, which to me is strangely one of the better things I think about this movie. It gives you all these different ways of learning all this. But I think even by the 10th chamber, the 8th or 9th, 10th chamber, you realize the first 10 chambers are nothing more about developing strength, which, again, if you've watched Dragon Ball Z, which I'd watched before this, or Dragon Ball, that's all Master Roshi did was teach these guys to be strong before he taught them how to fight. So it laid out a lot of different things that probably was nothing new in the Hong Kong cinema culture, but it was done in a different way. And I think they put it together well, especially in the idea of putting it in a movie. So
Yeah, I agree with a lot of stuff said there. I do have a gripe we'll get about later, but uh yeah, I mean this movie was very solid. I ended up I watched it and I didn't feel it had any pacing issues. If especially any bad ones. If anything, it got ever so slightly slower in some of the training montages, but even then, I mean, if anything pacing wise, I feel like the pacing was a little fast, if anything, like
Yeah.
which I guess can be and be negative if you want it to, but I don't think the moral of the story was actually I don't think the movie was actually getting about like this focus intensely on the actual plot because like it didn't go super deep into like the rebellion or who they were rebelling against or any of the bad people in the rebellion. It just showed that they're bad. They did this guy wrong. They're an oppressive tyrannical group and he's trying to get revenge on them.
Well,
So
I
I don't
think
think the
I interrupt you here real quick while you're still at it, and
you're
I'm
good.
still thinking about it. I think that being at the 17th century setting, it's probably to like us like almost like a Revolutionary War thing.
Mhm.
We knew about the Revolutionary War. We already knew it was us versus the British. This is kind of like a story that's slapped in the middle of a folk hero kind of deal. So maybe I don't know if we would trim this up, say it's
Almost
like a George
implied.
Washington movie,
Yeah.
but
Okay.
Mhm.
it could be one of
That
his
kinda makes
generals or
sense.
somebody that did a great thing, and I think that's why you don't get a whole lot of who's the chin and all that shit. It's like you already know they're bad people, and here's a group of them that are really bad.
Valid.
Oh, 100%. It kind of gives you a general idea about the protagonist and antagonist, but doesn't delve that deeply into them, which is why I don't think the fast pacing is that big of an issue. It's very apparent that the story wants to focus more on redemption, self redemption, motivation, uh, all the things that we were talking about before with having good work ethic and yeah, and stuff like that, rather than focusing on the antagonist too much. So I don't think the pacing was that script. I do want to say one thing with a lot of these dubbed movies, and if you want to watch dub, a lot of people are haters like, oh, you watch dub, that's stupid. You can watch dub if you want. I'm not nothing against it, but one thing about it is some scenes are literally completely different, like words wise, in dub than what they're actually saying. I like if you turn it on and watch it English with like subtitles, like it does
Subtitles
not
would be
even match
different.
up. It's
Yeah.
completely different, like for some of them. And I do want to say that. I do want to say that. So if you're watching dub, we might literally get like a different. Some scenes completely different. Uh, but yeah, script wise, I thought it was very. It was it was solid. No, nothing was too bad at all. I didn't really have any gripes with it. I've actually watched a couple different shows in Mandarin. Different like I don't know what the it's not they're not called anime. I forget what they're called, but it's like the Chinese version of anime.
Oh, I didn't realize
I don't
that's a
know.
different thing.
I think they might still call it anime, but I think the manga maybe is called a manhwa. I think, but I
Oh,
don't know. Whatever. I watched
okay.
some uh some different animes in
Dong Hao?
Chinese, so
Dong
I
Hao?
was used. Yeah, I think that's what they call it.
Yeah, I knew that. I didn't even
But
look it up.
yeah, well done, dude. Yeah, I was used to hearing that language. But yeah. CJ, you got anything else to touch on about that?
I think it's more of a personal issue. Well, two things. Personal issue, I think all movies start slow to me, just because I'm not a big movie guy. Also, like I said, me hating old movies kind of doesn't help. I don't think it didn't necessarily drag, but it definitely started out slow to me just because I'm like, old movie. But no, I don't think there's really anything that bogged it down. It didn't feel like, oh shit, the movie's over kind of thing. Honestly, and I almost hate that worse in movies is when it's, oh fuck, that was quick, or that's it. But I kind of felt fine, felt in between. Um, I think it was a lot of typical stuff, especially maybe if I saw it then, I'd feel different. But like now, we've kind of seen this script kind of reused in a way, at least the groundwork of the script. Like you mentioned, Rocky and even Dragon Ball Z. It kind of gives me that it's a feel good script kind of thing. You know what I mean? It's an empowering, inspiring kind of script. Not that it's a bad thing. Obviously, it was done back back then in the 70s and it's still being used. So I'm not saying it's a bad thing by any means, but definitely kind of could notice it, which, hell, I mean, one of my favorite movies I've seen in the past years was Marty Supreme, and it's using the same groundwork. So it's definitely not something I'm opposed to at all. So script wise, I mean, I like the build up. I like the kind of, slow down. You're going too fast. It's almost cheesy in a way, just because, like I said, we have seen it so much. It's like, no, you're starting at step one. You're not as good as you think. But no, pacing kind of was fine. I kind of could agree a little bit with the training. I think in all the movies, there's kind of to a point where it's, okay, they're training pretty hard. I think it's because we know where it's going. So it's almost like mentally we're kind of like anticipating, okay, we're about here. And so it almost makes it kind of blur together. But overall, like I said, the worst thing for me is just the fact that it was an older movie. Kind of makes me feel like it's slower, I guess, maybe in a way. But nothing like crazy negative on it. Nothing stood out to where it was like, Marty Supreme's going to be my new Aiden's Elden Ring. But like the pacing in that movie is fucking phenomenal. Like I don't think I've ever seen a movie that was paced better. And even going back to one of my other favorites, Revenge of the Sith, there's definitely moments in that where it's kind of like, all right, like, come on, we get it. I didn't get a ton of that here, but definitely no Marty Supreme level of excellent pacing.
I think, like I say, again, it's a classic, like you say. So the pacing thing hasn't been refrained. People didn't even probably appreciate the idea of pacing at that point. They were just, moving pictures are still pretty cool. I don't disagree. The plot, the story is simple. Basically, bad people kill my family. I must avenge them. I will avenge them. How did I get there? So even more so, I think it's like the journey, not the destination as much. Because I did read a synopsis somewhere of this where they explained this great battle at the end. And I'm like, the battle against the last monk was better than the battle against the last bad guy.
Oh, for sure.
And I think partially just because at this point, and I don't know, I watch a lot of Kung Fu movies. So basically throughout the movie, you see all these small little things that basically are going to happen at the end. So the typical, if you break out a gun in the first act, you better use it in the third act kind of behavior happens.
Yeah.
Except it all happens throughout the montage and then you see the things start to happen. But I guess, go ahead.
Just to touch on what you mentioned by the last fight, the fight with the one monk that was being a little bit hater monk. What CJ was joking about, that was kind of objected against him being ahead of a chamber. The hater monk. It was a better fight because the hater monk was a better martial artist, and I think it's very apparent. Like the last fight, like he was a general, I believe, that we saw in the very first part, which killed the guy in the white with an axe. He was a general, and he was militarily trained. And it probably shows the difference between being trained in Kung Fu and Shaolin through this intensive 5-year training, which he went through, and somebody that was militarily trained. It shows the difference. The hater monk was genuinely like way better of a fighter than the person that he fight at the very end. So that's probably why it was so much of a better fight, because it's more of a challenge.
I don't disagree with you, and I'm glad you brought up a point of that first guy. I remember I did want to talk about that earlier. I found it intriguing. The general, he's fighting a rebel. That's basically about all you really need to describe it. He's fighting a rebel at the beginning to kind of define who he is. And he cuts the guy's arm. And he's, in the dub version, stops and distinctly says, you only have one arm. I will fight you now with one arm. So he puts his sword in that arm and keeps it there and fights this dude one-handed just to whip his ass. And I don't know. Is that I can't even think what the word is to describe that of how but you don't get that shit in a fight anymore. If I fucking cut your arm and it's immobilized, like, guess what? I'm going to the left now, son of a bitch. Good luck.
Yeah. And I think that's, it's funny. I know we said pre-pod, you sent me the one thing, the little podcast that was about Marty Supreme. Of course, here I am again. But it's actually really funny because just in Asian culture in general, for the most part, at least he was talking about Japan, but he was basically going on to say it's not so much of, I'm going to destroy you. It's, we're going to do this evenly, and if I win, I win, but if you win, you win. And it kind of leans into it here with that. Even it's like, you have one arm, motherfucker. I'm beating you with one arm or I'm not, but that's how we're doing it. Like, So it's kind
I
of
think it's a lot more like pride and respect in that world too.
yeah,
Than
100%.
than like winning no matter what. It's winning with honor matters most.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. And I mean, I've lived my life with that behavior through a lot of things. Like I said, I'd rather beat you fairly, with the way I should beat you in anything I can. It's the same degree, I guess. With in our old video game behaviors on Tecmo Bowl, it's like, oh, I'm gonna use Bo Jackson. That's like beating your ass with somebody you just can't stop. But if I come through here and I just use freaking the guy from the Houston Oilers and all that shit to run against you, then it's a whole different behavior. And I that's one of the things I think I do respect out of the old kung fu movies. How I respect out of new kung fu movies. There's always that level of respect for you as a warrior and your talent and your ability. Where this one here, they do have a lot of brutal violence, and even that after the monk, the first fight he gets into, he beats the guy. He's like, "You're done. You're beat." He's like, I'm a monk. I shouldn't kill you. But the other guy's like, "I will. I'll fucking kill you," and takes the sword and just starts chopping him fucking in half. And I'm like, damn. So I mean, it's an intriguing behavior, and I think something I've always been interested in the Asian culture and how that behaves. Go ahead, eh?
One more thing. Another act of respect you noticed the fight with the general at the very end, when he disarms the general, he goes and then drops his weapon as well to fight him in hand-to-hand combat. And it's actually another moment of kind of honorable fighting. I'm not going to kill you with my weapon after I disarm you. And you go to hand-to-hand combat. And I think it's implied. Is it implied that he killed him? I don't think. I don't know. I was kind of like,
oh, yeah, I guess because they never gave a death blow or anything, did they?
No,
Spoiler.
they didn't with the guy before that either. That the monk fought when he like kind of rushed into the camp and beat everybody. They kind of showed was it the general's son? That's I don't know if they ever touched on it, but that's kind of what I saw it as.
The Lord Tang. I think he was just like nobility. Lord Tang,
maybe, but I mean, he was a pretty good fighter too. But he was just laying on the ground at the very end. I don't know if it's to be assumed that he died as well. But they never did finishing blows on either of them, so kind of left it up in the air.
I mean, just well, they did come up with a return to the 36 chambers. I'm just saying. So they left they're already thinking at that point, like, we got something here. We're gonna come back for fucking a sequel later. Yeah. But
the noble guy comes back and he goes to the Shaolin Temple. He didn't die. It's the next movie.
I'm gonna go learn this shit. Well, since you got the floor, what any moments particularly stood out to you, good or bad?
We touched on it a little bit earlier. I think the kind of back and forth with the hater monk, that was very cool, because then it kind of shows that like he needs to prove himself. He's been here for only 5 years. I mean, as you see, a lot of people there are old. They've been there for their whole life, decades. Why does he get to be head of a chamber? He needs to prove himself. And it kind of shows that, I mean, he's not really a hater monk. He wants him to show himself. He thinks it's fair. And after he is defeated or said to be, and he gives him multiple chances. He's like, come back and fight me whenever. And after he's finally defeated with a weapon that he made himself, he says, okay. And like, he accepts him like he's an equal. And so that was a pretty cool moment that stood out. Let's see. I'm trying to think. Go to somebody else, but for right now, that was a nice moment that stood out, and I'll think of something else.
Well, what's radiating in your brain, C?
Kind of mad because that's where I was gonna go, but whatever. I kind of do like that he wasn't like it. It definitely shows what kind of movie it was, and like we kind of mentioned that culture, because it didn't do kind of what we see more of now. Is the person's normally like a piece of shit after still, and they're like, motherfucker, you didn't deserve to win. He's like, okay. You know what? All right. But I do like, I always do kind of like, I either love or hate the hater in these kind of stories. This is one I kind of enjoyed. And I kind of agree. And he wasn't really so much of a dickhead, or just more of a realist. It's honestly, it reminds me of stuff that I've seen kind of like at work. I've been there obviously for, you guys know, number of years now. But like when I first started, I was gung-ho, excited, ready to go. Like, come on, let me do this. Let me learn this. You see these motherfuckers that kind of been there a year or two, kind of I don't like it. Yeah, and it's kind of felt similar to that. And I know a couple buddies kind of in similar positions at work that are starting out like that. So it kind of felt a little relatable there because at the end, a lot of them end up, man, you're not so bad, CJ. You know, I like working with you. So it kind of it full circled to me. So I like a good villain. I normally am an advocator for. I mean, Hitler wasn't that, but no. But you know what I mean. So, like,
Jesus.
I'm normally an advocator for the bad guys a little bit. I try to be that middleman mediator. So kind of nice that he wasn't a piece of shit. You know, this isn't one I'd have to kind of like die on the stake for. So
I remember what I was trying to think of before, Larry, you get to your answer. The other one of the abbots that was kind of helping him, that he was talking to about what chamber do you want to go to, and he said, "Oh, the most advanced one first." Like and that guy and I like the scene with him kind of throughout the first chamber with all the rookies where they have to walk over the log in the water or the bundle of logs, where he's helping them out in failure, and then he practice, and he's up in the middle of the night practicing, and that guy helps him out. I like that abbot. And also one more thing, what the hell was when he did go to the advanced chamber, that guy, the main abbot with the yellow jaundiced eyes, when he said you're not ready and push him away, he just used the force on him, and they don't touch that the rest of the movie. He's like, "You're not ready, get out of here," and then slings him back, and I was like, okay, well, that's interesting, and they never touch on it the rest of the movie. This guy has the force. Interesting.
Well, apparently that was a little bit of a different path.
I mean,
yeah, just like.
I will say one more thing, Larry. You kind of mentioned it earlier, callbacks, and it is like a kung fu thing, but it's just like it's you almost see like the slow motion. Oh wait, I've seen this before. Yeah, I like that. It's corny as hell, but I like it. It's like lightning.
I think it takes that minute of learning. It takes that minute of like, I learned something, and you know, as simple as for us moviegoers, it's like we can see it coming a mile away. That, oh, you learned that. Don't do that shit again. Aiden mentioned it here a second ago, but the things that I love about this is the fucking montage movie. The whole first chambers crossing the little pond on bundled logs so you can go eat your dinner today. If you can't do it, then you're not going to eat. That's fucking harsh, but I honestly believe
the same stuff. You know, they fucking walk so they could run later.
Well, I just believe like it's not as hard as they probably really are on these people, but it's just, it's like, you want to eat today, you're going to get good at this shit, or it's going to suck.
Only if we can.
And even the abbots. Today we're going to go on the pond. You must get across this, or you can't shoot balls. Well, the thing is, like, he goes out there and he teaches them, shows them, it's like, you must do this, get better. That's what he told them, like, get better. And he does get better at it, as Aiden said. He spends his time through the night learning how to figure this out and how to get quicker and faster. So let's make it harder now. Second chamber is, we're going to break the bundle. But it's like, why is everybody on the same fucking token at that point? I think the first 3 or 4 chambers, everybody's on the same page of, we're going through it all together here just so we can eat today. And that montage of them going across the broken bundles was funny to me because if you pay enough attention to it, basically all he's doing is they're all just jumping in. It's like, there's the pool, we're just jumping in. We're not even trying to get across the fucking thing. We're just going to jump into the pool.
And I did want to say that pool was not that long. I feel like if I got a good start, I definitely could have just jumped over it.
I mean, honestly, like I said, to become this high level of a Shaolin warrior, you probably only really had like one touch a log, and that was really like, in the 21st century, we've seen people who will run across shit, and you'll see them touch something and move. It's like, you're touching it because you have to touch it, not because you need to get across, like you say.
Yeah.
It's part of the requirement, yeah.
And also, I like and this is a kung fu movie classic, when he finally gets, when he's training on the buckets that night, and then he finally he passes it with his arms up, and then jumps over one leg onto the logs, and then jumps over. Yes. I was like, that is just a kung fu movie classic. Just to show off. He did not need to do that shit.
That actually was pretty good, as you say. I do recall that. It's like, yeah, that was necessary. I need to fucking hop my own leg to do this shit. Watch me, guys.
Yeah.
I've been washing dishes. This is what I learned out.
Yeah, if you failed, that would have. I think that would have been funnier. If you did that shit, hopped over his own leg and just fell right in the water.
It's modern. That's what would have happened.
I do appreciate that. Like say the teachers, the monks that were teaching these different chambers or top of them were firm, I guess would be the proper way to put it. They were, I wouldn't say they were harsh, but they definitely were very firm and, doing this and trying to be a disciplinary to some degree, but like they're very pushovers in what I could see. Oh, She-10, I told you you're not supposed to help your brothers. Oh, I'm sorry, master. Now, leave. Get out of here. Oh, no. Go to the next one. Ha ha ha. It's like, what the hell, dude? Like, I don't know. I guess it's just to give it something. And that guy was putting a little extra in to make sure he can get his supporting actor role.
They wanted to see him succeed. They were firm but fair. It was very like once they mastered it, they're not going to keep him here. Like, okay, go to the next one. Which I can appreciate.
And again, in that montage, the guys where they had to bust their heads off the bags of rocks. First thing with that appreciation came in where the teacher's like, "Come on, She-10, you got to pass this or you can't go on to the next one." And he's like, "Okay, I'll get this now." But for a second, what the fuck was that scar thing on his fucking forehead?
Yeah, I don't know. It looked like he got shot in the head by spider webs on his forehead. Like
I was like, this dude likes beating his head off a rock so much they had to cut off a chunk of his ass just to fix the hole.
And also, he was 4 foot tall. He wasn't even tall enough to hit the bags. How did he get that scar on his head?
He had to jump up. He had to jump up there for all of them.
From experience,
Also, what is that training? Can I do some neck workouts that doesn't involve me getting concussed all day?
Well, I mean, don't get me wrong. In other ones, and it comes out through different things. I know one of my favorite movies that Shaolin Soccer, there's a guy on there, and he's called Iron Head. And that's his thing, is his head's iron. So, but he doesn't have a big old fucking scar thing on his forehead, so I don't know what that's about. But yeah, maybe. I mean, I can break more shit with this bony forehead that I got. CJ, any sort of performances or anything these actors that stood out to you that you want to mention, bring up?
Nothing crazy. I think it goes into me bitching about old movies again, as I'm already bad with actresses. So it almost, I know when I watch modern movies, sometimes I get that, oh shit, that's what's his name. But I obviously didn't really get that here. I don't think anybody was like noticeably bad by any means. I think it was all a little cheesy to me, just being, like I said, old. And you see like how far it's come now compared to that. Don't think it was bad, but just all of it in general, all the acting to me when it's an old movie is kind of cheesy. And I don't know that it's like naturally cheesy or maybe just the way I see it because it's an old movie. But we all know I love Star Wars, but I feel the same way kind of watching the original trilogy sometimes. It's older, so everything's almost kind of corny and cheesy. That's probably my biggest gripe when I'm talking about how people performed, like acting wise. And I hate it because, like I said, especially when I look at movies like they're truly some of my favorites, like Star Wars as a whole. And I look at it, and it's just like Han Solo turns around and kind of says the corniest thing, but at one point in time, it was not the corniest thing. That's just, I don't know. That's just what I get from old movies.
I know.
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah, like, it kills me sometimes.
Right. All two of our female listeners' panties are now wet. Oh, yeah.
I hate sand. It's coarse and gets everywhere.
Yeah, like, you know what I mean? Like,
my panties are now wet. Oh, God.
Same for real. That's my big gripe, but I think it's a personal issue. So, Aiden, since you love old movies now and you are seeing them way later and you didn't see them originally, back me up.
Can't back you up there. After watching The Godfather, that was some of the best acting I feel like I've ever seen in The Godfather. Of course, it's just a different style of movie. This is like a kung fu kind of classic revenge kind of movie. But yeah, it wasn't blowing my dick off here, but I feel like it was solid. I think it was definitely the Mandarin voice acting was a lot better than the English voice acting from what I've seen. So, but I truly did not I was trying to think of moments where I thought, and like, oh, that's bad acting. You could really tell this guy's acting
Yeah.
here. I didn't see a ton of those moments, but there wasn't a ton of moments that blew my dick off. Like I said earlier, I'll say it again. No dick blown off, but also dick stayed on. It didn't blow in. I don't know. There wasn't any horrible performances, but nothing that blew me away. That's kind of what I got. Larry, you get it. What do you think here?
My biggest thing, and I guess, like I say again, being a kung fu movie lover, yeah, the
Expert.
acting, the acting is not top shelf at all. It's really more about the action than it is the acting, because in this time it was more about the ability to do the stunts, the motions, and all that is a little more important than the ability to make you, the audience, feel something more than my father's dead, even though he didn't get to see it. So, but I took from this, I see a lot of people that I see in later movies. Gordon Liu, like I say, he has a whole series of Wu-Tang movies that go through this. Return to the 36 Chambers. I think The Mystery of Chess Boxing. A lot of shit, like I say, go back and listen to a Wu-Tang album, and you'll probably going to hear the names and the name of movies more than you ever realize. That's part of what this kicks into. The one Hater Monk that you guys talk about, there's several different movies where he's actually the main character in it, and he's pretty good in those. There's the younger general guy who didn't have any real place in this. He plays later in the Bruce Lee The Dragon movie. And then even the main bad guy, he's later shows up as a bad guy in something else. I mean, they're just... The beauty to me is when you deal with old kung fu movies, basically it's a team of maybe about 5 to 10 guys. And they kind of all just start switching roles and switching, makeup and facial hair to suddenly become somebody new. So I can appreciate the talent of the wushu martial arts more in this than I can the acting, and really it's because good acting at this point I think just doesn't exist in our day and age.
I will say
Valid.
one thing I have a little contention with. I think there are some good actors nowadays, but one thing I forgot to touch on, which I didn't kind of weigh in actor performances, was this is a kung fu movie. How was the fight scenes? That plays into the actor performances as well. I feel like the fight scenes were phenomenal.
Yeah,
A lot of the times they get a little cheesy and like somebody in a lot of kung fu movies where you get hit in the chest and you fly back 20 feet, or when they jump in the air, it's like slow motion jumping and they jump 14 feet in the air. You have a lot of like hand-to-hand combat, and to me the choreography was very good, in my opinion. Very good hand-to-hand combat. I think better than almost all modern combat visually in movies nowadays, because nowadays you kind of got it's heavily based on angles. It's very cut from scene to scene, like one punch and then cut, another angle, then cut. It's very rare that you'll have a fight scene and it's just a solid one film and the actors they're fake fighting for like a good 30-second scene without cutting the camera. And that's really impressive. You don't see that nowadays. And to me, that looked very good, and that should factor in the actor performances as well, because I thought it was very good.
Well, yeah, you definitely don't get those. They fake action anymore, and that's how you can tell if someone can. That was something Jackie Chan always made a point to see. He's like, when you see me fight, you see 2 minute me moving, doing things, and jumping, all that. You don't see cut. That gives the feeling of impact. You actually see me taking the impact and doing all that, but I guess I'll ask a couple more questions here. We'll wrap this bad boy up. Aiden, what was your favorite chamber of the ones you were able to see? Which one of those made you happy, smile, like that's cool? That will help me be a better martial artist. Which one was your favorite chamber?
Well, I gotta say, from first part of your question, what's my favorite chamber? I think the first one, just from like watching it and enjoyment wise, I thought it was a fun chamber, and the way it was done was really well. What I think that would help me the most in my everyday life? Honestly, probably one of the strength chambers that wasn't too intensive, like that, where you're gonna, if you put your arm down, you're gonna get stabbed.
That would
Maybe-
make
maybe
those
the leg
shoulders
one.
work, man.
I don't think they went too in depth on the leg one, but if I'm gonna talk about like what would probably help me the most, it'd probably be that, because that didn't seem too intensive, and I'm not gonna get physically hurt if I mess up. I'm not gonna get concussions or stabbed or anything like that.
How about you, CJ? What was your favorite chamber that you recall?
As a short guy, I can tell you my least favorite is I'm not headbutting shit at 4 foot. Also, super concussion prone. Don't really want to do that. I will say, if I had somebody like threaten to stab me if I couldn't get a rep in at the gym, though, like for not keep my arms up, I think that would be like my day-to-day benefit. That's kind of what we do at this point in the gym. It's like we will offer like a 1 and 2 finger assistance, and we'll make each other push as hard as possible to actually get the weight up. So I guess it's more of a modern technique, less harsh kind of version of it. But a harsher version might really push me to get pretty yoked pretty quick. So I think that one might be the one I want in my day to day. But I also am super scared of getting stabbed. So it's either going to end horribly or greatly for me.
It's a good possibility. I mean, you don't know. I mean, it keeps the motivation going. That's an important one, I think. I don't know why, as I sit here to ask you guys this question, I never thought about it myself, but I figured, hey, let's ask this question. I strangely like the one where he's got his head stuck between the 2 giant fucking incense things burning, cooking. Yeah. He's got to move his eyes around. And that's only because I know in my own personal life, I waste a lot of movement, which is a lot of energy use, doing stupid shit like moving around, just bobbing and moving and shit. And I think it will definitely train you to be still. And it has to apparently help you see shit, because his eyes sparkled and stuff after he got done with that.
Yes.
So, I mean, it has to be true, right?
Has to be. He got a bit of a spidey sense from doing that. Maybe I'll try that.
Hey, I'm just saying that's what we're missing. But you got to have those giant 6 foot fucking 4-inch around incense that apparently don't let off any smoke.
No, they were smoking that. I thought they were smoking pretty heavily. I actually thought that was like the challenge about it, because there's smoke getting in your eyes while you're trying to follow this light. I was kind of misled. I was like, oh, is that the thing? Because I don't know why I didn't put 2 and 2 together that was probably burning incense. I was like, oh, it's putting off smoke in his eyes. It's probably harder to see. But there was smoke there, but I don't know if I like that one either, to be honest.
I'm just saying this shit's gonna hurt, but it will make you better. So let's get to the end of this. Wrap this bad boy up. We've hit our point here. Who wants to jump in on this? Okay, what's your recommendations, and what do you think? What's your final?
This reminds me of a movie that one of my grandpas would probably have on in the background, that as a kid I would end up sitting there and kind of peeking and then watching with them. I think if you like feel-good movies, if you like kind of inspiring movies, kind of things like that, definitely give it a watch. If you like Kung Fu movies in general, I used to watch a lot of like cheap dollar bin at the grocery store Kung Fu movies, and in comparison to this, those don't, I loved them, but they don't hold a flame to this. So I think, if you like Kung Fu, if you like feel-good stories, give it a watch. If you like fight scenes, give it a watch. If you can deal with subbing or dubbing, give it a watch. Basically, give it a watch. I don't think it's a must-see, at least to me, because I'm anti-old movie, but definitely not opposed. If there's 3 categories here, is don't fucking watch, must-see, and 4 categories. Don't fucking watch, maybe if you're super bored, solid watch, and you gotta see it. This is a solid watch. So 3 out of 4, that's my scale that I'm giving today. It gets to 75%. Like I said, a little corny. If you can get past that, like most people can, instead of me being dumb and not liking old movies, I'd say give it a watch no matter what. I got it wrote down here. If we could coach like this, Larry, I mean, I'm telling you, the coach in me really likes this. So.
We'll have to come back and revisit this and the other one, the next one, and see how it goes. Because
they show up to the gym and you got hot coals on the ground laid out. They're like, what?
Oh yeah, we're gonna make this happen.
Teach you to be quick on your feet.
Don't move your
No,
head,
but,
just your eyes. You will master no look pass.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have the same disdain for old movies as CJ does. I actually like old movies, as we were talking about. Also, when he was explaining, my first thought was, man, good thing he wasn't here for the Seventh Seal, because he would have really hated that one. The 1958 Swedish movie that me and Larry did a review on.
It's a good movie, strangely.
I thought it was a good movie too. It was a good movie.
Different.
CJ would have hated it. CJ would have hated it.
No, Mark.
Also, I have to touch on one more thing that I forgot to talk about. The set design was phenomenal. In a lot of older movies, it's a little cheesy. I thought this was great. I don't know if it was just they literally filmed it in like a Shaolin temple. That's why it was so good. But I thought everything looked good. Just point blank period. That was another high note for me. The set design was very good. But would I recommend it? Yeah, I would recommend it. From what I've seen, what Larry talked about, this is one of the classic kung fu movies. Very solid. Don't have a lot of hates about it. Slight cheesiness, but honestly, compared to a lot of kung fu movies, this one's not even that high on the cheesy scale.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say this is a must watch. I would say like, I bring it up again because I did just watch it. I would say like Shawshank Redemption and The Godfather are like must watches. This to me, if you're a kung fu fan and you like, that's like one of the genres of movies that you really seek and go after, this is a must watch. But for the average person, this wouldn't be must watch. But very good movie. This is a you should watch. Maybe not a must watch, but you should watch this movie. It's very solid. Yeah, that's what I got. Larry, what do you got? Is this a must watch? You recommend? What's going on?
I am a kung fu wushu movie guy. I'd probably say it's probably one of my most favorite genres. I think if kung fu movies is something that you're interested in, this is a good start. It's very light, basic story, and you get to see a lot of different action things happen. It's a good beginning, only because if you get hard into these later, it might be harder to come back to. Hong Kong movies are very, very different, obviously, for us as Americans, but they all seem to have a sense of pride, a sense of honor, a sense of respect carried throughout the entire thing. And that's something I've tried to understand why we don't get those kind of movies in America anymore. The stories are very subtle. They're very basic, most of them, but they always seem to be entertaining. And that's just the actual acting movie plot side. When you go to the wushu kung fu side of it, dude, you're going to see some crazy shit. Yes, they're hanging from strings. Yes, you might have some fantasy stuff where people have the ability to punch you and you fly across the room, or kick you and you fucking, go 10 feet in the air. Break your what's the word? Break your disbelief. Have fun with it. A lot of movies, even the ones I watch in modern days, they are visual entertainment, popcorn movies, Transformers. I watched all 7 of those. Not a fucking plot in any of those damn movies, but it's something that you want to spend some money on to go be entertained for 2 hours. That's what this is. It's 1978's 2 hours of come in, forget your world for a minute, enjoy it, and when you leave, you might want to go take a kung fu class and realize I'm too fucking lazy to do this shit anyways.
That's a good little summary. I like that. So rating. What do we I think we should give a rating here for movies. We did for the Seventh Seal. What are we thinking? Does you guys got a number? I know I do.
Are we going out of 10?
That equals 7.5. Bang. That's my number.
Okay. Out of 10 it is. Huh? I know. I mean, I'm not gonna go like hardcore and like say this is a perfect fucking movie. We got a lot of road to travel down for that. Actually, I'll go a smidge higher than fucking CJ, and I'm gonna go with an 8 flat. I think it hits a lot of the good points, but there's definitely better things in this. But I can tell you, in my head, between the 8 and what I would consider the 10, there's got to be very, very nitpicky things that are going to happen in between. But 8 flat for the 36 chamber, I think it's a good answer.
I'm actually going slightly lower of the bunch, but that doesn't mean my enjoyment wasn't
Just a critic.
very high. I thought this movie was very enjoyable. It was a very solid watch. It flew by. I wouldn't be surprised after watching it if it was an hour and a half movie. I think it was an hour and 55 minutes, but I've given this movie not much lower. I'm going 7.3. So about you guys, but still the lowest of the bunch, and it's the lowest. What does that put us? We got a 7.5, 7.3, and an 8.
7.6, which I think sums up pretty well.
That's a solid movie.
That's
I think a mid movie, like a not bad but not good, just a nothing burger of a movie would be a 5. Then I'm fine with this being like a good solid movie.
Agreed. Great. Well, way to put it. Anything lower than a 5 is a shit movie, like Tusk.
Well, I don't know, but all right, ladies and gentlemen, this was an episode of Video Game Replay Night at the Movies. If you like this, let us know. We'll do more of them. Hell, we may even put it behind a paywall so we can do more of them for you. I mean, like I say, you know.
Party Supreme is coming out soon on streaming, I believe in April or May, so be ready. I don't care if
It's already on streaming.
No, it's not.
Don't get his hopes up like that, goddammit.
I'll watch it tonight.
Yes, it is, bro. I have it downloaded on my server thing, and that's how I actually watched this movie too.
But let's see here. I do appreciate everyone coming in on this. Where are we going next week? What's happening? CJ, you want to take the reins on this and commit?
We will be visiting something that I picked out. So that's how you know it's going to be good, as we've known so far through our history. Harvest Moon. If you like games like forgot the name of it. If you like Stardew Valley, you would have loved this game back in the day. And if you like Stardew Valley now or think you would, you're going to love it today. That is a guarantee coming from me. Hold me to it. And if I'm wrong, fuck you. Overall,
You could kill him.
no, yeah, you can come at me for sure. No, we're going to be getting into Harvest Moon. It's like, I thought it looked cutesy. I'm going to be honest. When I picked it, I'd never had heard of it. Liked the name. Sounded cutesy. Read about it after I picked it. Not mad at it. So I'm excited to get with the fellas, talk about it. I know Aiden mentioned it a little bit earlier. Larry asked me some questions earlier about it. Fun time. So I'm excited. Harvest Moon, here we come. Bang. Bang.
Oh yeah.
Bang.
Well, I know I'm excited to pick back up on where I was. I think I got through the first season when we went through the holidays. So I'm a little bit in there. Got a chance to pick up. So got a lot of
I
time.
haven't played it
coming.
much, but I'm a huge Stardew Valley fan. I've pretty much beat the game, if that's what you call it. If it's a game that can be beat, I've beat it. Stardew Valley fan, huge. So I'm excited for this one. But VGR fans, guys, we're back. Gonna be posting a bit more consistently now. We're on our hiatus. We're back. Season 2 is back in order. Harvest Moon. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, do all this good stuff. We're on all the social medias. Gonna be on iTunes here soon. Just check us out, guys. Show us some love. Send us an email at vgrpod@gmail.com. If you got a question for us, we'll answer it. If you got a movie recommendation, we'll watch it. We're for you. You got to be for us, though. So do all that good stuff, and we will see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Later. Finger banging.
Aiden, also, before I take my plate downstairs and pee, would like to say fuck you. It's on streaming for a fee, not for free yet. So, die.
On streaming of choice, baby.
You can get it from like Amazon Prime for $20, or you can just wait until April. I mean, it's worth the $20 in my opinion, but I think there's a couple like YouTube